Hello, YouTubians. I know it's been quite a while since I've done a video. Been really busy this year. I'm teaching a lot more classes as far as different subjects. I was teaching at two campuses last year. I'm now down to one campus teaching 5 days a week, full schedule. I like it. It keeps me busy. I wanted to hit upon a question that many people have about charter schools. And our charter school is unique in a way that we are a member of a county school system, Jefferson County Schools, which is a huge public school system. And we try very hard. A lot of people think, oh, charter schools, you do that to get away from the rules and stuff like that. And we're actually not that way. We actually strive on surpassing, everything. You hear about a lot of companies and people that try to get away with the bare bones minimum, and we actually try to surpass anything that's put before us to exceed expectations. One of those things that we have to do is we go through evaluation. So our administration comes in for like a short evaluation or a full class evaluation. They write it all up officially, put it in our employee records. Other teachers will come in and sit in on my class and give their interpretation of how they feel about my class, and I have to do the same for somebody else. And they give us some recommended teachers based on our experience and their experience and what they teach and what we teach. And, they give us like a list of 5 teachers to go to. And so I was due to perform one of my teacher observations called peer observations. And so I chose, there's a teacher here that I don't know very well at all. We, say hi in passing in the hallways and stuff like that. But she seems to be a very nice person. We see each other in the professional developments and say hi, and that's it. So I chose her class intentionally because I've never seen her teach, and she teaches elementary kids. I teach from 6th through 12th grade this year, and she's like literally like with the first graders and second graders and stuff. And so I didn't know what to expect. I don't remember first or second grade, and I don't get to hang out up there. I got my own things to do. So I go in and I'll call her Mrs. K. I went into her classroom to peer observe, and you go into this, they have you fill out a form of what you expect to learn, what you expect to change about yourself and your teaching methods. And I knew she was a very kind person, and so that's one of the things I put in is I wanted to integrate more kindness into my teaching methods. And so I went into her class. First of all, she was hugely welcoming, and that's really neat. And it's not a surprise here. Every teacher that I've ever been into their classroom is like hugely welcoming. I tell parents, I'm like, come to my classes anytime you want. Come unannounced. Come and play with robots. Come and play with computers. Come and play with programming. I'll teach you. I'll teach you right alongside the kids if you want. And I've only had one parent do that. But that's okay. But anyway, I'm in Miss K's class, and it is so nurturing, and the kids are so involved. And, she did many different activities. I don't have the energy to do it. She does. And like one of the activities was reading a book. And of course, with children's books, they have huge pictures, a whole lot of artwork, and few words, much less words. You're familiar with it. You open it up. There's 2 sentences on this page, 2 sentences on this page. Turn the page. But she knew this book. And she had books all over the place. I was amazed. It makes me feel ashamed at the lack of books I have, but I teach computers, all my stuff's in the computers. But she knew this book. She knew these little intricacies to bring out in the pictures, and ask the kids, well, what do you see in this? And what do you see in that? And they all get a say. Some of the kids are totally off base. Some are exactly right on, like they've already read the book, and they may have, but they were so observant. And she utilized that. And all these kids, like I say, they had a say, and they got to raise their hand and give, their opinion or what they thought was going to happen. She'd ask them, well, what do you think is going to happen next? And she got their little inquisitive minds to be even more inquisitive and to answer, whatever questions they had and stuff like this. And it was so nurturing. It was such a refreshing thing to see. And so that happened last week. I do my write-up. I post it in my file. My administrators get to read it. I take her out of a courtesy. We don't have to, but out of courtesy to her, I gave her a copy of the report that I wrote because she did such a spectacular job. And regardless, I would have given the teacher, whatever I wrote. I think they deserve that. If I'm going to go in and interrupt their room, then the least I could do is, show my observations. And so I'm sitting there in my room today thinking, school's out for the day. We stay half an hour before and half an hour after school in case any parents want to talk to us or anything. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, why isn't our elementary program like chocked full of kids? If I as a parent, and I'm a parent, and I went to my kids' schools, and they went to schools that were way better off than our school is monetary-wise and where they're located. We have a great school. We, have had some financial setbacks this year because of broken materials, like we had to replace our boiler, which was hugely expensive, things like that. But we do so much more with so much less that I am like flabbergasted. The dedication of our teachers to these students amazes me. I would say that it is at least twice that of any other school that I've seen. And I've witnessed multiple schools with my own kids, probably 5 elementary schools and, 3 or 4 high schools. And, as a parent and being on the inside of this, I see, we have meetings every Wednesday morning. We have group meetings with, our certain group of peers. And the dedication is phenomenal. And I don't understand how our elementary program isn't full beyond capacity, because what I witnessed was really nothing short of a miracle. Okay, she wasn't putting on a facade. You could tell by the way kids act. Kids act totally different. If you act different because somebody walks into that room, those kids are going to act different. It's not going to flow smoothly. They're not going to know, well, gee, Mr. Marlar's acting this way now. How do I react? How do I interact with him? They're not going to know how to properly interact. So you could tell the way it flowed that this is who she was. This is how her class runs. And it was thoroughly amazing. So my hat's off to her. She does an amazing job. When you look at someone, you go, wow, I could never do that. I get that all the time as a teacher. Like, everybody I run into, they're like, I could never be a teacher, And I'm like, you'd be surprised, And I look at her and I go, I could never do what you do. So my hat's off to her and the elementary school part of our program. It was amazing. And how everybody isn't flocking, breaking down our doors to bring their elementary school children here. I don't know why. It must be because they've never seen it or experienced it. I would love to videotape it. Maybe I will one day. It's just hard to videotape with little kids around because they see it and they're attracted to it. But, and plus I don't want to, put kids on the internet, without their parents' permission and all that. So just wanted to reach out to the public a little bit and tell them about how amazing our elementary program is. I've been here, this is my 3rd year, and I didn't know it was that great. So hats off, Mrs. K. Thanks for doing such an awesome job and taking care of those little ones. It was inspiring.